play, record. We are doing the string handling methods now. And you'll see there's an edit box for EDT strings. We're on the strings tab of this program. And there's a big edit box called EDT strings. And there's a small edit box called EDT chars. There's also a spin edit called SED pause. And over here, we're going to read the instructions on the button. And in that button click, we will write the code. So it says there, enter a sentence in the first edit, which is EDT strings, and a character or a smaller string in the second edit, and display the position number of the small string in the big string. So we're going to use pause and display it. So we double click the button. We've got to make a variable to get our first string from the large one, from the larger edit box. I'm just making this larger so you can see on the screen. So VAR-S main, and then S sub colon string. So I'm going to call the one string S main for the larger string, and that will get the item from EDT strings.text. We're going to store whatever's in EDT strings.text, we store it into S main, and we do that by saying S main colon equals the edit box name dot text. Always we get our input first. Then we're going to say S sub, what is the other edit box? It is called EDT chars dot text. That could be like one character that we enter inside there, or we could have a small string that we enter. We can write a big long sentence in here in EDT strings, and a small word if you want to look for this word in a sentence. And now to do that, we're going to get a variable called ipos integer, and we're going to say ipos colon equals pos. Here's our super duper function. Now this is where even the grade 12s got mixed up in their recent exam, because they forgot. You have the small substring first and then the larger string afterwards. So it's pos of S sub in S main. That's it. There, we've used our first string handling function. Okay, are we ready for the next thing? Yes or no? Hey? Right, now we're going to show message int to string. All we're going to do is show ipos. That's all they wanted us to do here. So and then we run the program, and you'll see if you put a big long sentence in there, fix your syntax errors. We go to the strings tab, and Joe is a good boy. And if I want to look for the word good here, and I click the button, it's in position number 11. You can go count 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, that can't be position. Yeah, you're right. I probably got a space there. Yep, I had a space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should be in position number 10. Actually, we're going to see what happens if we don't do that. We actually just put the show message inside here. Instead of using iPause, let's put pause inside this. And I'll put in a sentence a little bit more easier to predict. I don't see why I have to. I can do this. Joe is a good boy. Good. 10. See, it's different. Now it's got the right figure. Now that is a little bit of a interesting thing, isn't it? Why would iPause be different if I get it first and then display it, or, just go and display it when I get it? Interesting little problem, don't you think? So I'm going to do it again, just to double check my theory, if there's a slight issue here. I presume you're all with me. Joe is a good boy. Good. Quiet. Yeah, it is fine. I must have made 2 spaces or something there. No, it's good. It's the same, both 2 spaces. So remember that you are counting spaces as well. Spaces are part of your string. Okay, always remember that. I'm so glad that we highlighted that fact. So I'm sure a lot of you will think, but what about spaces? They don't count, surely, but they do. The space is a keyboard enter that has got its own ASCII value. The space is represented by an ordinal number. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, we're going to go here to this one because it's the next easy one. Display the length of a string that's entered into EDT strings. So we're going to double click the button and we can go and get to a variable to get our character from EDT strings. Our string, our line, not a character. And get our line from EDT strings. So I'll make a variable, string variable. And there we go. And then I'm going to make an integer variable. I know it's not actually necessary, but rlength or rlen. Because we must remember that length returns an integer. And this is how we do it. And of course we didn't really need all those variables, but I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. And then all you do is show a message. So rlength equals length, and inside the brackets there's only one item inside the parameter list. There's only one item which is a parameter of the length function, and that's a string. And then all I do is show a message into string rlen. Of course, we could go and put another message together with it, but we won't do that now. What I mean by that is we could put, say, the length is, this length is plus So let's run the program. And let's see. Go to strings. Let's go and say Joe is a good boy. This is Joe the dog. Length is 17. And I'm okay with that. Right. Now we're going to do a more difficult one, which is copy. So we're getting more difficult ones now. And we're going to deal with this very long edit box called EDT strings. And in EDT strings, we're going to copy the first name from the person's full name that's entered into EDT strings. And this is going to be difficult. We're going to use two string handling functions here, two of them. I'm going to double click the button. I'm going to go and get my S name and S first string. We're going to get S name and S first here. Now we all know that strings look like this, not so? And there's a space and then there's a surname. And we know that but it could be Janet or it could be John Hendrik. But we're going to assume that there's only one first name, okay? Right, I'm switching.